Quick question. What do you get when you combine record-breaking viewership, skyrocketing merchandise sales, and a 300% increase in TV ratings? Answer: you get snubbed. Again. According to WSLAM, Caitlin Clark's NCAA and WNBA seasons, the most impactful seasons ever for both leagues, were worth one mention in their top 10 moments of 2024. That's right. So WSLAM just dropped their top 10 moments of 2024, and let's just say Twitter is on fire. If you're not familiar, WSLAM is the women's basketball arm of Slam magazine. A big deal in the hoops world. Their year-end lists are usually a celebration of the sport's best moments. But this year, it's more like a celebration of how to miss the forest for the trees. Let's break it down.
What made that team so good, you two? Outside Clark again!
Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who's been lighting up scoreboards and breaking records left and right, barely made the cut. Yeah, you heard that right. The player who's been plastered across every sports headline, selling out arenas and bringing in millions of new fans, she got a measly mention. But wait, it gets better. You want to know what did make the list? Notre Dame's backcourt. Really? Don't get me wrong, they're talented, but are we seriously comparing that to Clark's earth-shattering impact? It's like putting a local high school game on the same level as the NBA Finals. And here's the kicker. When Clark's name does finally appear, it's at number 5, lumped together with Angel Reese. Now, Reese is a fantastic player in her own right, but come on. Clark's not sharing the spotlight this year. She is the spotlight. So what could possibly justify this snub? Did WSLAM forget to watch any WNBA games this year?
Samuelson, nice pass there to Clark. Clark behind the back. Oh, it's Smith with the finish. Brilliance from Caitlin Clark.
Did they miss the part where Clark was driving 26% of the league's revenue? Or when she was responsible for 1 out of every 6 tickets sold? Here's why everyone's so mad about this list. It's not just wrong, it's disrespectful. It's a slap in the face to what Clark has achieved and what she means to the sport right now. We're talking about a rookie who made the All-Star first team, set an assists record, and oh yeah, was named Times Athlete of the Year. But apparently, that's only worth a fraction of a spot on WSLAM's list.
Side, knows who's there, drop pass behind. Could be the deepest shot we've seen Caitlin Clark make as a pro. Big one.
This isn't just about hurt feelings or fan outrage. It's about recognizing game-changing talent and the impact it has on the sport. When you've got a player who's single-handedly expanding the WNBA's fan base and bringing in record-breaking viewership, that's not just a moment, that's a movement. And let's be real, this snub isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a bigger trend we've been seeing all season. From veterans like Cheryl Swoops making backhanded comments to rival players trying to downplay Clark's success, it seems like there's a concerted effort to minimize what she's doing. But here's the thing, numbers don't lie. Clark's impact is measurable, undeniable, and unprecedented. She's not just playing basketball, she's revolutionizing how people watch and engage with women's basketball. So why is WSLAM, a publication that's supposed to be celebrating and promoting women's basketball, seemingly going out of its way to downplay the sport's biggest star? It's a head-scratcher, to say the least. Stick around because we're about to break down exactly why this list is so wrong it hurts. We're talking record-breaking stats, economic impact, and the kind of star power that comes along once in a generation. It's time to set the record straight and give credit where it's due. Because if Caitlin Clark only deserves 1 spot on a top 10 list, then I guess the rest of us are playing a different sport altogether. Let's rewind to draft day, folks.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
The hype around Caitlin Clark was off the charts, but did anyone really see this coming? Sure, we all knew she was good, but this good? Come on. Expectations were high, no doubt. We're talking first overall pick, potential rookie of the year, maybe even an all-star nod if everything went perfectly. But Clark didn't just meet those expectations, she shattered them like a backboard on a monster dunk. Let's break it down. Clark didn't just have a good rookie season, she had a season for the ages. We're talking about a player who set the WNBA single-season rookie record for assists. That's right. In her first year, she's already the best playmaker the league has ever seen from a rookie. But wait, there's more. Remember the All-Star game? Clark didn't just show up, she showed out. She dished out 10 assists, the most ever by a rookie in the history of the WNBA All-Star game.
Her first minutes, Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, what a dime from Clark.
That's not just good, that's making the veterans look like they're standing still good. But Clark wasn't content with just breaking records in exhibition games. No, she had to go and set a single-game record with 19 assists. 19. That's not just feeding your teammates, that's serving up a whole basketball buffet. And just when you thought she couldn't possibly do more, Clark goes and becomes the first rookie in WNBA history to record a triple-double. First, ever, in the entire history of the league. Let that sink in for a second. The league took notice too. Clark was named WNBA Rookie of the Month for July, which at this point feels like saying water is wet. Of course she was Rookie of the Month. She was probably Rookie of the Every Month. But Clark's impact goes way beyond the box score. We're talking sellout crowds wherever she goes. Merchandise flying off the shelves faster than Clark dishes out assists. The Indiana Fever went from who to must-see TV overnight. So how much did Clark move the needle? Try this on for size. Her arrival coincided with a historic new media rights deal for the WNBA, worth a cool $2.2 billion over 11 years. Coincidence? I think not. Clark didn't just change the WNBA in 2024, she revolutionized it. She turned every game into an event, every assist into a highlight, and every doubter into a believer. She didn't just bring new fans to the sport, she created a whole new generation of basketball lovers. In one season, Caitlin Clark transformed the WNBA from a niche league into a mainstream powerhouse. She proved that women's basketball can be just as exciting, just as skillful, and just as worthy of attention as any other sport out there. But here's the kicker, this is just the beginning. Clark's rookie season wasn't the end of something, it was the start of a whole new era in women's basketball. An era where records are meant to be broken, where expectations are meant to be exceeded, and where the impossible becomes just another Tuesday night for Caitlin Clark. And if you think these numbers are crazy, just wait, because the stats we've talked about, they're just the tip of the iceberg. The real impact of the Caitlin Clark effect, it's about to get even wilder.
Has been to Caitlin Clark all night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark connects on a deep three.
All right, let's talk money. You know Caitlin Clark's got game, but did you know she's basically the WNBA's personal ATM? We're not just talking chump change here, folks. Clark's economic impact is so massive, it's making accountants do double takes. Let's break it down. When Clark steps on the court, she's not just playing basketball, she's printing cold, hard cash for the league. We're talking about a rookie who's responsible for 1 out of every 6 tickets sold at WNBA arenas. That's right, every time you see 6 fans in the stands, one of them is there because of Clark. Talk about star power. But wait, it gets better. Remember when watching WNBA games was like stumbling onto a secret club? Not anymore. Clark's arrival turned the league into must-see TV.
Trying to look inside. Going through this zone, cross-court pass, Clark to Mitchell. Big three for Indiana.
We're talking a 170% increase in ratings. That's not a typo, folks. ESPN reported that viewership skyrocketed from 454,000 to over 1.2 million average viewers in 2024. Holy ratings, Batman. Clark isn't just moving the needle, she's breaking the dang machine. And it's not just the league that's cashing in. Clark's impact is so huge, she's boosting entire local economies. Dr. Ryan Brewer, a valuation expert, dropped this bomb. Clark's economic impact on Indianapolis alone is upwards of $36 million. That's not just game-changing, that's city-changing. Think about it. More fans and seats means more hot dogs sold, more jerseys flying off the shelves, more hotel rooms booked. Clark isn't just a basketball player, she's a one-woman stimulus package. She's got more effect on the economy than some politicians.
Clark launches, nails it.
So just how valuable is Clark to the WNBA? Let's put it this way. If the WNBA were a company, Clark would be its most profitable product, its star employee, and its best marketing campaign all rolled into one. She's not just contributing to the bottom line, she is the bottom line. The real question isn't how much money Clark brought to the WNBA, it's how the WNBA ever survived without her. We're talking about a rookie who's single-handedly expanding the league's fan base, bringing in record-breaking viewership, and pumping millions into local economies. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's revolutionizing the entire business model of women's professional sports. All right, let's play a little game I like to call Fantasy WSLAM Ranker. How many spots should Caitlin Clark really have on this list? Buckle up, folks, because we're about to break it all down. First, let's talk about WSLAM's criteria. They're looking for the biggest moments, the game changers, the stuff that makes you go, holy basketball, Batman. You'd think Caitlin Clark would be all over that list, right? Well, apparently WSLAM's been watching a different sport. Let's start with the obvious. Clark broke the all-time NCAA scoring record. Yeah, you heard that right. A record that stood since Pete Maravich was draining buckets. That's not just a moment, that's history. But WSLAM? They're too busy talking about Notre Dame's backcourt. Come on, folks. Next up, how about setting the WNBA single-season rookie record for assists? Clark's not just scoring, she's making everyone around her better. And let's not forget her all-star game performance. 10 assists, the most ever by a rookie. That's not just good, that's making the veterans look like they're standing still. Good. But wait, there's more. Clark didn't just break records, she shattered them. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Indiana Fever history. That's not one moment, that's 2. And WSLAM's response? Crickets. Let's talk about Clark's debut game. 20 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. Sure, she had 10 turnovers, but come on. That's like complaining about a few clouds on a sunny day. The This wasn't just a game, it was the start of a revolution. And how about those playoff numbers?
Here's Clark, a good look from three. She got the first three.
Game 1 against the Connecticut Sun pulled in 1.84 million viewers. That's the most watched WNBA playoffs game since 2000. Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's transforming how people watch it. So, how many spots did Caitlin actually deserve on the top 10 list? Let's be real. Breaking the all-time NCAA scoring record? That's one. Skyrocketing the WNBA's popularity? 2. Most dominant rookie season ever? You know, first team All-Star, rookie scoring record, single season assists record, rookie of the year. Yeah, that's 3. That's right, folks. Caitlin Clark deserved at least 3 spots on that top 10 list. And that's being conservative. We could probably make a case for her taking up the whole thing. The gap between reality and WSLAM's list isn't just shocking, it's downright embarrassing. It's like they're living in a parallel universe where Caitlin Clark doesn't exist. Or maybe they just forgot to watch any basketball this year. So why the disconnect? Why is WSLAM, a publication that's supposed to be celebrating women's basketball, seemingly going out of its way to downplay the sport's biggest star? It's time to address the elephant in the room, folks. Stick around, because we're about to dive into the bizarre bias that's got everyone talking. The haters are out in full force, and we're about to call them out.
And I don't think we can just pin it on one player.
Let's be real, folks. When you're as good as Caitlin Clark, you're bound to ruffle some feathers. It's like clockwork. A star rises, and suddenly everyone's got an opinion. But the hate Clark's getting? It's on another level. We've seen this before with dominant athletes. They change the game, and some people just can't handle it. But with Clark, it's like the haters are working overtime. They're not just whispering in the shadows, they're shouting from the rooftops. You've got critics lumping Clark in with Angel Reese like they're interchangeable. Newsflash, they're not. Clark's breaking records left and right. All-time rookie scoring record, shattered. Single season assist record, done and dusted. But some folks act like it's no big deal. And let's talk about those favorable circumstances arguments. Really? As if Clark's success just fell out of the sky. Last time I checked, no one was handing out record-breaking performances like candy. But hey, when you can't beat them, make excuses, right? Here's the kicker. It's not just about basketball. This pushback, it's a reflection of how we treat women in sports. Clark's out here proving herself game after game, and still, it's not enough for some people. It's like they're watching a different sport altogether. But why? What's really driving all this negativity? Is it jealousy, fear of change, or is it something deeper? Maybe it's the threat Clark poses to the status quo. She's not just good, she's changing the game. And change? It scares people. Let's break it down. Clark's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. She's bringing in viewers, selling out arenas, and making the WNBA more relevant than ever. But instead of celebrating that, some folks are trying to tear her down.
Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench.
It's like they'd rather see the whole league fail than admit Clark's the real deal. You want to know why some people are trying to downplay Caitlin's success? Because they can't handle it. It's easier to nitpick and criticize than to admit you're watching history in the making. Clark's not just changing the game, she's changing minds. And for some, that's too much to handle. But here's the thing. The haters can keep hating. Clark's gonna keep balling. She's not just answering critics, she's making them look foolish. With every assist, every point, every sold-out arena, she's proving them wrong. And it's not just random Twitter trolls throwing shade. Some big names are speaking out. And let me tell you, it's getting interesting. Stick around, because we're about to dive into what the WNBA's old guard has to say about the new kid on the block. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. When WNBA legends start talking...
I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, like...
But she has that advantage.
You better believe everyone's listening. And boy, have they been talking about Caitlin Clark. It's like watching a basketball soap opera, with praise and criticism flying faster than Clark's no-look passes. Let's break it down. Cheryl Swoops, the WNBA icon herself, hasn't exactly been singing Clark's praises. Sure, she acknowledges her impact, but when Caitlin won the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year award, she was quick to insinuate that she didn't deserve it and it could have gone to Aja Wilson instead because she was better statistically.
You know, put Simone Biles back in there.
You can put her back in there. Probably LeBron from his Olympics plus, like
I mean, hell,
from the season Olympics.
Put Aja Wilson in there.
And then there's Angel Reese, Clark's rival from their college days, who had some thoughts of her own. And let's just say, she's not exactly rolling out the red carpet. Reese isn't denying Clark's talent. She knows game when she sees it, but she's got a bone to pick with how much attention Clark's getting. It's like she's saying,
because of one person, it's because of me too.
Hey, what about the rest of us? Reese is pushing for a more balanced narrative, one where multiple players get their moment in the spotlight. Here's the thing, Reese isn't alone. There's a whole group of WNBA veterans who are feeling a bit, let's say, overshadowed. They're worried that all this Clark mania might be drowning out other talented players. It's like they're saying, hey, we've got skills too, you know. So why are some WNBA veterans speaking out? It's simple. They're caught between admiration and frustration. They see Clark's talent, her impact, her star power, but they also see a league they've worked hard to build, and they're not sure how to feel about one rookie taking center stage. This divide in the WNBA community, it's not just about Clark. It's about the future of the league. It's about how to balance celebrating a superstar with nurturing a whole roster of talented players. It's about growing the game without leaving anyone behind. Here's the kicker. This Clark conundrum isn't going away anytime soon. If anything, it's just getting started. As Clark keeps breaking records and drawing crowds, the WNBA's got to figure out how to ride this wave without wiping out. So what's next? The WNBA's got a big decision to make. Do they go all in on the Caitlin Clark show? Or do they try to spread the love around? It's not just about basketball anymore, folks. It's about the future of women's sports. Stick around because we're about to dive into the WNBA's Clark conundrum. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. It's about to get real interesting. The WNBA's got a problem, folks, and it's a doozy. Caitlin Clark isn't just good, she's changing the game. But here's the kicker. Not everyone's thrilled about it. Let's break it down. Clark's success is off the charts. She's selling out arenas, breaking records, and bringing in fans by the truckload. The WNBA's never seen anything like it. But here's the rub. How do you market a league when one player's stealing the show? Commissioner Kathy Engelbert's caught between a rock and a hard place. She knows Clark's a goldmine, but she's also got a whole league of talented players to think about.
Caitlin Clark phenomenon. How do you describe it?
She's clearly an unbelievable player, came in with an unbelievable following, has brought a lot of new fans to the league. If you look at our historic season around our attendance, our viewership, Caitlin.
It's like trying to juggle flaming basketballs while riding a unicycle. Not easy, folks. The WNBA's marketing strategy, it's like watching a tightrope walker in high winds. They want to capitalize on Clark's star power, but they can't afford to alienate the rest of the league. It's a balancing act that'd make a circus performer sweat. Here's the thing. Clark's success could be a game changer for the WNBA. We're talking increased viewership, more sponsorships, maybe even a bigger TV deal down the line. But if they go all in on Clark, what happens to the other players? What about team loyalty? It's not just about this season. It's about the long-term health of the league. And let's not forget the money side of things. Clark's making waves, but her salary? It's capped at $76,535. That's peanuts compared to the revenue she's bringing in. The WNBA's collective bargaining agreement is tighter than a new pair of sneakers, and it's causing SOE serious headaches. So, how's the WNBA going to navigate this mess? They can't ignore Clark's impact, but they can't alienate the rest of the league either. It's like trying to make everyone happy at Thanksgiving dinner. Good luck with that. The big question is, what's the WNBA's endgame here? Do they ride the Clark wave and hope it lifts all boats? Or do they try to spread the love and risk missing out on a once-in-a-generation opportunity? Here's the bottom line. The WNBA's got a star that's shining brighter than a supernova, but they're stuck with a system that wasn't built for this kind of star power. It's like trying to fit a 747 in a garage built for a Prius. Something's got to give. So what's a superstar like Clark supposed to do in the middle of all this drama? Keep balling out, that's what. Because at the end of the day, the game speaks louder than any marketing strategy or salary cap. And Clark? She's speaking volumes every time she steps on the court. Stick around, folks. We're about to dive into what Clark's got planned for next season. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. It's going to be one heck of a revenge tour. Caitlin Clark isn't just good at basketball. She's a master at proving people wrong. And let me tell you, 2025 is shaping up to be her ultimate revenge tour. Let's break it down. Clark's heading into her sophomore season with a target on her back. The haters are out in full force, trying to downplay her achievements and question her impact. But here's the thing. Clark thrives on that criticism. It's like rocket fuel for her game. Remember how Michael Jordan used to invent slights just to motivate himself? Clark doesn't need to invent anything. She's got a whole buffet of doubters to choose from, and you better believe she's taking notes. But Clark isn't just relying on motivation. She's got some serious backup coming her way. The Indiana Fever have been busy in the offseason, beefing up their roster and bringing in a new coaching staff. It's like they're building a fortress around their star player. Clark's teammate, Kelsey Mitchell, is pumped about the team's potential. She said, "We have a lot of talent and experience now. We're ready to take the next step together." That's not just teammate talk. That's a warning shot to the rest of the league. So what can we expect from Clark in 2025? Let's get real, she's not just going to match her rookie numbers, she's going to obliterate them. We're talking about a player who set records in her first year. Imagine what she can do with a season of pro experience under her belt. Clark's got the potential to average a triple-double.
What did you say?
Yeah, you heard me right.
Okay.
Points, assists, rebounds, she could hit double digits in all three categories. That's not just good, that's changing the game good. But it's not just about the stats. Clark's got her eyes on bigger prizes. We're talking All-Star MVP, League MVP, and yeah, maybe even a championship. The Fever went from league doormats to playoff contenders in 1 year. Who says they can't go all the way in year 2? Here's the kicker. Clark's best move to silence the haters isn't just to win. It's to win so big, so consistently, that they have no choice but to bend the knee. We're talking about a level of dominance that makes even the biggest critics say, okay, we were wrong. She's the real deal. Clark's not just playing for herself, she's playing for every kid who's been told they're not good enough, every woman who's been underestimated, every athlete who's been overlooked. She's not just changing the game, she's changing minds. As we wrap this up, let's put this whole saga in perspective. The real top moment of 2024, it wasn't some flashy play or a buzzer beater. It was the day the WNBA woke up and realized they had a once-in-a-generation star on their hands. Clark isn't just good at basketball, she's transforming how we watch, play, and think about the women's game. In 2025, it's not just another season. It's the year Caitlin Clark cements her legacy as one of the greatest to ever do it. So stick around, folks, because the Caitlin Clark Show, it's just getting started. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single minute of it.